up? New video alert. I don't really know what this one's about, Stefan. I guess it's just a coffee talk. Is that what it is?
We haven't done coffee talk for a while, have we?
It's been a while. I did post on Instagram to see like if anybody had any questions that they wanted to kind of ask us. So a few people did reach out, which was super cool. Quite a few actually. So I don't think we'll get to all of them, but we can pick a few of them to kind of talk about, and just depending on timing, we'll kind of go from there. But first off, gents, how are you guys doing? Sully, how are you doing on your side of the pond?
I'm good, man. I'm tired, but good. We've had I call it like a heat wave in the UK. It's probably a normal day for Brian, but it was like 26 degrees, and I did like a charity run yesterday in like a big dinosaur costume, so I was like melting the whole day.
That was
So
awesome. Yeah, I saw
26 degrees Celsius for us in America. The conversion is 78.8. That's nothing, man. It's like 90 over here.
on a cliff edge though, in a dinosaur costume, while running.
it gets you, yeah. No, we had the same heat wave kind of in Canada. We actually got up to it was like 37 or something like that. It was pretty warm, and then right now it's like 5. So
Yeah,
it's so drastic. But it's good that we're actually finally able to get back on this. I know you guys have been too, but just I've been extremely busy with work and everything. It's hard to right now carve out some time for this. So
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also hard to figure out what our fan base wants us to talk about, because
True. Yeah.
you get some people that get mad when we venture outside of like Blink related things, but then there's not really news. So then they're like, why aren't you guys putting out content? It's so hard to make anybody happy. I had an ongoing joke with Stefan and David that we should do a side page called Gear182, and we just talk about like nerd stuff, and then that way nobody's mad at us.
yeah,
So if
I
you
think
think you could, put it in the comments below. Geek182, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. We're going to talk about movies. Tom Cruise still making Mission Impossibles. Let's go.
which is wild to think of. Dude still doing his own stunts and stuff. That's crazy.
Did you see the promo he did in London? He was on top of the cinema roof in London, just stood up there to do a promo at 60.
That's crazy. So the first, maybe we'll just kind of kick it off here. So the first question was, do we think there's going to be another The Legacy sale? I have my thoughts on it, but Brian?
God, no. There's no way, man. Like, they know what this stuff is worth now. Ever since COVID, everything's changed, and you can sell a Blink-owned, candle, and it'll sell for an inflated price. Like, I think this goes down into what we were talking about the other day, is the way the world has changed. Like, everything now is like I call it a Pokemon collector mentality. So like everything you get, whether it's shoes or watches or guitars, or it's all like collectible. Everything must be mint condition. Like, it serves a dual purpose. Like, you'll see it on Reddit all day. If you don't believe me, go look at the Gibson subreddit or guitar or guitars, and they're always like, what's this worth, guys? If I sold this right now, what's this worth? And I think that's also, has to do with these artist sales. You might see like a charity event one day where he sells some guitars for 40,000, 50,000, but all these guys that are like, ooh, I missed out on his $5,000 Gibsons. Yeah. Good luck, man. It's over. Don't tell me that it's over. But sorry, that was long-winded, but you get what I'm saying.
It's true, and I think the reunion just caused an explosion in popularity as well. So everything has gone off the charts, and you see Travis selling used Vans for $2,000 or something for a pair of trainers.
It's crazy right now. It's gotten to the point where I think everybody and their dog thinks that that they're going to be able to get some staged use gear, not even from Blink, but just kind of in general. For a cheap price. Well, I mean, for less than, call it 15.
Mm-hmm.
I think gone are those days for sure. I do think though that there's going to be charity event or something like that does come up. Will there be another Reverb sale of some sort? I don't know, maybe, but I don't think I don't. If they do, I know Reverb will pressure pretty hard to throw in a guitar or something. But
Yeah.
This isn't top secret information or anything, but I heard from the inside from some of Mark's people that he's going to have another reverb sale, and there's no guitars and no basses. So take that for what you will.
yeah, but I don't know. I if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, I mean, the other thing too is they don't. I don't think, especially from the Tom side of this, he doesn't really have a lot of, call it nostalgia guitars that he still like. He still has like eight or so Gibsons. He still has a few of the Fenders still, and the rest are his studio stuff. So really, you might see a studio guitar pop up, which Brian, I know you would really want that Explorer. But other than that, like it's going to be just studio stuff, I think too, right? So we'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't hold your breath, but never say never. I think it's kind of the main thing.
Did you guys get tempted from any of Travis's stuff?
No.
Oh, no way.
That was
I can't
wild.
believe people were spending. I know, like, we're in 3 countries, so the conversion's different for you guys, but I can't believe people were spending, like, you know, a $15 puzzle that was unopened, sold, like, in a few minutes for, like, what, $100 or $200? They're ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I just don't see it happening. And me and Stefan have said this for years, and I know it's easier said than done, but, like, I'm telling you, these guitars aren't as magical as you think when you get them. Like, they are beat to crap, and they often don't play even half as good as some of these new off-the-rack custom guitars that you can buy.
Yeah.
And it's just easier for us to say because we've owned these, but I'm telling you, that goes to one of my questions. Can I do one of mine, Stefan? It was somebody that asked me this one
Yeah, go
that I
for it.
thought was cool. Is like, say your house burns down, you lose all your guitars in a fire, there's no way to get this artist-owned stuff anymore. And like, say you don't have like a huge budget, you kind of have like your budget now. Like, what would you buy to replenish some of your guitars? And I think I narrowed it down to like 2 electrics that I'm really interested in, maybe 3. And I think I would want, for me, I really like those new hardtail strats that are like blue and white that are kind of like Jim Root, that they're satin and they're like a fat with 2 single pickups, black guard. I really like those. I think I would get one of those if I wasn't able to get like a Padre or something like that. And I think I would want a Gibson or 2. And I think the 2 that I would want is I would want some form of a Les Paul. I doubt I would spend the money for another custom, so I think I would get like a 60s Les Paul or maybe a modern. I would have to try it and see what I like. And then I would want a hollow body just because, you know, grew up with Untitled and Boxcar and Blink, and I've just always been interested in the hollow body design, and I think I would want some kind of like 335. I would not pay the prices of a TD Gibson these days. I would just get like a hollow body, maybe put a different pickup in there. I don't know. But I think those would be kind of my 3 that I would go for, like a Fender hardtail Strat, hollow body Gibson, 335 style, and some kind of Les Paul. What about you guys?
So you can tell you're a guitarist because you didn't mention one bass there.
Oh yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking, what bass, what guitar, you know?
Oh yeah, you feel free to add a bass in there for sure.
Yeah.
do you
I think I would probably agree with you on that new Strat from Fender, because it does look great. I haven't had a chance to play one yet, but in a perfect world, I'd love to get like a hardtail Strat. There's nothing really on the market. Maybe you could pick up a Jim Root Jazzmaster. That would be cool, but they're quite hard to come by sometimes, aren't they? An affordable price. But bass-wise, I think any P bass from Fender. I play like some of the Made in Mexico ones, even some of the Squire ones in there. Like, they're always awesome, man. Just slap some quarter pounders in there, and you know, turn the volume up, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I hate to agree pretty much fully with Brian, but it would definitely be a Les Paul of some sort, whatever I could afford at the time, but probably a white Les Paul. Even just stock, I think would be fine. A hollow body, a natural or black hollow body, 335. Again, stock doesn't matter. And then I would want a higher end Fender if I could afford it, but probably like I would love to have like a hardtail Jazzmaster. Like, if whether it's still like the Jim Root style or whether it's whatever, that's kind of what I'd go for sure.
Or Tele Deluxe for you.
Yeah, I really am starting to enjoy Tele Deluxe, as you can see kind of behind me a bit more. But yeah, I'm really starting to enjoy Tele Deluxes a lot more, just for the simplicity of it. with the one pickup, kind of the Derek Wembley kind of style. But yeah.
Yep. Thought
Okay,
that was a cool question.
So how are you finding the maple neck, Stefan?
I don't mind it. Like I do prefer rosewood, but I don't mind the. It's good to have something different, anyways.
You know what's
good
crazy,
pricing.
David, is I prefer maple on a base. I don't
Really?
I don't know why. I think it's just because it's so deep that it just brightens it just a little bit. But I am not an expert on base, so take that with a grain of salt.
Next question was: are there going to be any other colors for Starcasters coming out?
I mean, you've seen these runs of like the Yetis and the Blackouts and Padre. Like, I know nothing, but like, there's no way they're not going to do some kind of Starcaster in the future with everybody asking. Now the question is, oh, can it have this cool artwork or what? I seriously doubt it. I mean, it's definitely not going to have the Blink logos on it. It's not going to have the smiley necks.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's all I really know. I would want a graffiti yellow. I think that would be cool, but it would be plain.
from a To the Stars perspective, I mean, there was stuff posted already. I won't get into it, but stuff posted already. But from like an actual like Indonesia whatever run, I don't know. It just, I guess, depends really. Like, graffiti yellow would be really cool. You know, an orange would be really cool. A black would be really cool. You know, just something different from that. But I think if you did that, you'd have to see Tom play it more. Because I think when they did the Squires in the black and white, it's because he had the black and whites that he was playing more at that specific time. So it made sense. But Tom doesn't really play anything that's just no artwork on it right now. So it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think you said, and it's not, again, this is not private information, but if you watch these videos, you can get little cool tidbits from us. Is I think you said that Fender's kind of done with the Tom Strat. Like, they're kind of going to move on to the Starcaster for the most part, unless we see something special later, right?
From a To the Stars perspective, yeah, I don't think.
Just in general, I don't even think they're producing them in Mexico anymore, right?
Yeah, actually, I don't think they are. I could be wrong, but the Strats have definitely had their time, even in the recent years. They sold extremely well for them. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm interested to see actually how that would go. But yeah, I don't know. I do think it'd be kind of cool for them to do another release of something. I really do. But Sully, what color would you want to see them come out with?
I'd probably want something like wild, like a gold sparkle, you know. Just because when have you ever seen like a hollow volley with a gold sparkle?
Yeah.
It's quite rare, and
Yeah,
I love like unique colors you just can't really get.
Yeah, no, that would be cool to
I've
see.
always wanted like custom level guitars, like with the inlays and stuff, but who knows if that would ever happen.
Yeah.
But then with that, people have to understand the cost would go.
Yeah. Sully, one for you maybe. What brand of road cases did Mark use? I know before he used the ANS, the same as the orange ones, just in the blue, but in recent.
Yeah. I'm not sure on the recent ones. I know they're all like obviously fully custom, aren't they? We should have had a bit of a peek around when we were at the Palladium. But no, I'm not sure on his most recent stuff. But it's definitely fully custom.
And the cases like you have in the background, Stefan, the individual guitar, I have one there. Those are a thing of the past. They kind of do the boats now, right? Isn't that what they call them? Guitar boats, where it just holds all of them.
Yeah, it's the easiest. It's the easiest for them to do. And I think people on Tom's team actually customize for him already, for the most part, anyways. So that was another question too, is what he's using now with it, but for Tom's side. But I think they're pretty much that.
Yeah, send Stefan a message if you want him to connect you to somebody that can make you one, but they're not cheap.
No, they're definitely not cheap. But I mean,
and
that's how,
very heavy.
but that's how Padre like got shipped to me. There was no box outside. It was literally just in the orange case.
What?
That's it. These things are built like
no way.
like
a tank.
Yeah, like they're made to be stacked. They're made to be they're
And if you've ever done what I've done, is accidentally bump the wall so gently it just destroys it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's unreal. What next? My Instagram thing fell. If one of you guys want to look up a question to ask as well, but another one that I know came up was about Padre. If there's going to be another update coming out of Padre, I don't know for sure. I know when I was there, when I brought Padre with me, I want to reiterate too, because I know I did. I don't know if I did a post or something about it, but the amount of detail that these guys are doing specifically for this guitar is pretty unreal. Like, they were taking measurements throughout the neck just to make sure that it is exactly perfect, even though over time, like, Tom's has its, the back of it sanded, so it does affect, even if it's a slight millimeter, it does affect the size of it. So they're trying to make it as authentic as possible. So it's I'm really, really excited. The brown and even for, like, the orange too, that they had there, because they had the body there and side by side, and it's, if you were holding them side by side, you'd have no idea that they were different at all. Like, if you had them side by side, there might be a very slight, depending on the light, but even that, it's pretty crazy to see the level of detail that they are putting into this thing. And I think, from my understanding, is when it comes to Strats, I think this is the last of them. So they really want to make it that it's, like, known, but I don't know. I think that they're going to be still a little bit. I think June was the original, but I don't see it coming out in June. Like, for stuff like this, I know people that have purchased it that want one, and I want theirs, but, like, let it marinate, let them really make it the best that it possibly can, because, like, when I was talking to them, it's incredible what they're trying to do from what they're able to do. Because remember, these guys aren't like the custom shop, so they can't do all these, like, crazy things, and there's still litigation, there's still stuff that the custom shop can do and that the regular front line can do, and the fact that they're trying to, like, get as much customization out with the price that they have. Like, I know people are complaining about the price, but again, the stuff that they're doing to this for the price, like, I think if they made that known before it came out, they would have, like, within seconds would have sold out, because, like, I was even blown away when I first had that meeting with them on Zoom, and it was just like, this is what we want to do. And I'm like, okay, well, you guys should do this and this and this. Like, yeah, no, we're doing it. And it was like, holy crap, it's crazy that you guys are actually wanting something like, this isn't just like we just want to make money off of it. Because if they want to make money off of it, they could have just done an orange and throw it out, and that's it. Like, this is an actual, like, labor of love. And from what I heard, Tom is very much a part of it, and this was Tom's idea to do. So I don't know. I'm excited. I just hope that they release something a bit more before it comes out, just to hype it up a bit. But
I mean, it's going to be quite the revolutionary guitar to see, and I know people are mad about how long things take, but
it is what it is.
Hey, man, it's rather they take longer and they get it, like, perfect than rush it and have not as good, like, cool features and stuff. Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna skim over this one, Stefan. That's like tariffs, blah blah blah. I don't know, man. Just give it some time. Let's see. I have no comment. We live in 3 countries. All I can say is guitar prices go up. I was telling a friend of mine the other day. I always used the baseline as a Les Paul Custom Black, and those were like $3,000, I think, in 2010. And I've just watched them go up, and now they're like $5,500 US. And so I don't know. They just always go up, man. I don't know what to tell you. Now they're doing that Epiphone inspired by Gibson line, because nobody can really afford Gibson as a whole. So, like, they have Gibson parts and pickups, and those are like $1,500 or $11, and it's just the future. And I think when me and Stefan were interviewing the Fender guy, he was like, "Yeah, we make most of our money on the cheap stuff."
Like, no way.
Yeah, he's like, we don't make most of the money on the high end stuff. That's just for, the
diehards,
very diehard people.
Which makes sense. Like, like, Brian, even to your thing with the Les Paul. Like, I did the same thing with because I have a Gibson Hummingbird, and when I got it, it was like 2,400 Canadian, right? And this was like, there was no studio Hummingbird or custom Hummingbird. It was just like the Hummingbird, and that was just over 10 years ago. And now, Canadian anyways, good luck trying to find it less than even 4 on a good day. Like, they're typically about 5 Canadian. Like it's just the amount it has gone up is, and I know, you know, costs and
Crazy.
everything does go up, inflation. I get that, but it's just, it's so hard for average people sometimes to afford these things like at the prices that they are now, especially with
I know
tariffs and
you,
stuff coming in.
I know you love it when I go on these tangents, but I watched a YouTube video recently about retro gaming and how people get
Um,
mad at the resellers for the price of retro gaming. And the video was discussing like, don't blame the resellers. It's the uneducated, and it doesn't mean like hick redneck people. It means uneducated people that are buying these items at these high prices. And he
yeah,
gave this like crazy example where this dude was in a convention. There was this game that's worth about 600, and it was in terrible shape, and it had a price tag of 900 on it. And he just threw down $900, didn't even haggle, and bought the game. And 10 feet behind him was the game for 650 in a mint condition. And that
what?
makes me think of like the Tom DeLonge Gibsons and how these guys
Mm,
are buying these guitars. So like you'll just see somebody and they'll be like, "Yeah, I'll throw it up for 12,000." And people are starting to see the price and they'll think, "Oh, okay, they're asking 12. It's got to be worth at least 10. If I get it for 10, I'm getting a deal."
Yeah.
And so they'll make an offer for 10,000 and buy this beat up old 20-year-old, you know, honestly cheaply made 333 guitar because they just love Tom nostalgia and they want to own one and they think, well, this is the price now, so I have to pay it.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
kind of
It creates trends, doesn't it? And then like other people think, oh, okay, they've seen it sell, so it must be
yeah.
Yeah.
the new norm.
And we all own the Gibson. We've, you know, touched and played Toms. We have friends that own like the Proto Gibson and stuff. If you put a blindfold on me and I was playing a different Gibson 333 or even a 335, I would not be able to tell you the difference. Unless you had like massively different pickups or, you know, different action or strings, but like overall it's the same. But this nostalgia is what is making people go crazy.
Yeah.
And then they also get crazy with this whole like mint thing that I wanted to discuss whenever you're ready. The
Go for it. Go for
sorry,
it.
I'm going
Okay,
too
mint?
long, but like
No, it's fine.
recently on the Tom Guitars Facebook page, if you're a member of there, good luck. There was somebody that posted that they bought this really cheap Squire Starcaster, and they used the comment, "I don't want to put miles on my TD Starcaster." And we were all just like blown away, like, are you kidding me? Like, what are you worried about putting miles on? And then so people are messaging him in the comments. He says, I want to leave these for my kids and keep them in pristine condition. And I was like, okay, let's play this out. Say you get a Tom Starcaster for $11,000 or whatever, 1,100 or 1,000, somewhere around there, and you keep
Yeah.
it for like 30 years. I mean, with inflation, it might go up to 1,500, maybe 2,000. But the thing is, they made thousands of these things. Beat them up, enjoy them. Don't you want to like give your kid your guitar and it has lots of wear from like when you used it in bands or at home
Yeah.
and dinged it up, and it's got your personality and stickers and
DNA
I just
all
don't
over.
understand this
Yeah.
Pokemon collector thing. And your kids do not care about Blink or Tom. It's like they're
That's
Yeah.
just
on the
like,
level that you do. Sorry, you guys can comment. I went way too long.
no, it's
But
fine.
I had to bring this up.
No, it's fine. I see it on both sides because let's be honest. If you asked us back in 2000, if these like the fenders that were there at the time before they reissued, because they were going for a stupid amount before the reissues came out, I would not have guessed that they would have gone, because they were like, you know, a few $100 to buy a Fender Tom Strat, and then you look and imagine having one mint still in the package. Like they went for, what was it, like
3,000 or
Three?
something.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is a pretty big return on investment if you keep it in that condition. I can't say that I don't know what's going to happen in X amount of years. Again, I used to like collect retro games, and when I was getting these back in the 90s, I didn't think that these were going to be worth anything. And so
Sure.
you don't know, but to buy something now and then buy something else just to play it, I don't know. It just like, okay, so you're just buying like stock, or you're buying something in the hopes of it
Yeah.
going up, which again, to each his own. It's just,
It's something
if you have the space for it, go for it. But how many times have you guys seen on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, wherever, where got to collect them all. I got all the 4-color Starcasters. I got all the
Yeah.
4-color Stratocasters. And then you see maybe a year later, those same people.
Oh,
it's all up on Reverb, because they're just like, well, because these things aren't just like invisible stock. Like, these things are huge instruments that like take up space.
Yeah.
So like.
And
they're like, they have a magnifying glass on Reddit. They're like, guys, should I send this back? There's a cache here by the tuner. And it's like, are you kidding me? I should show. I don't even know if it'll show up on camera. Like, look at this Gibson, dude. Like, look at the back of this. Look at this. Look at that.
Yeah, you overpaid. It's too beat up.
Beat it up.
Send it back.
It's too beat up. I give it a grading of a 1.3. But no, but that's the thing. It's just is play it, 100%. Personally, but I mean, I don't know. Like I play Padre, I play the Orange. Like even still, like I know they're memorabilia now, but like when I got Padre, like that was the thing I told them, is that like this isn't going to be just in a shrine. Like it's going to be played, and that's kind of what I want. Am I going to leave them to the kids? Yeah, probably, but like whatever.
And the thing is, like most people will be playing, like they'll probably record on the computer. They might like play in the house, they might jump around a little bit, but unless you're like playing like a clubs every night and you're like throwing it into wall, like it's gonna be fine. Like, come on.
100%, yeah. I do think so, yeah. What other question?
We got another one that said, with less use of cabs live, what is the quintessential piece of equipment for a live blink tone? That's a loaded question, because do they mean the tone right now? Enema? Pants and jacket?
I mean, as of right now, like
it's any like modeler, isn't it?
With any, like I mean, I think all of us have modelers now, and like it doesn't really like it's and I don't want to take away from the guitars, but unless like you guys have a different opinion, whatever guitar you can plug into, like I have the Fractal, like the FM9, and I can plug in, like I've spent a long time trying to like fine tune the 03, 04 tone settings, where I got it pretty much spot on for what it is. When I plug in the Starcaster, I have my Starcaster settings for the 03, 04, and then when I plug in, the Gibson or the Epiphone, it's this like it's a different tone settings. But like the reason why I'm saying this is like you can literally use any guitar. I just edit it so it can sound like anything. Like it's actually like unreal. It's to the point where like for a guitar, it's whatever feels best in your hands, or whatever you feel the best for the playability wise, because you can get whatever sound you want out of these things.
I have a pedal on my digital head rush that will make my guitar drop D through the speaker, and I'm not in drop D, and my brain can slightly hear the strings, and it throws me off so much. I'm too old for that.
It's crazy to think of, but that's what I would think, is that it's just like a modeler with like a good tone setting.
And I saw somebody post the other day that they bought Tom's whole Mesa rig, and like was trying to get the tone. But the problem is you can't do that in a bedroom. You got to crank a Mesa Boogie rig to really crunch up those tubes and speakers. And it's just hard to explain that.
Mm-hmm. It really is, and that's why the modelers are so easy, because like you can crank the speakers and crank it and just like put in like in-ear monitors or like headphones, or have good speakers, and it's, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty crazy.
You'd have to like service and replace the valves with like a valve head. Like it's so much easier, isn't it? Especially for someone that wants to just play in their bedroom, or
Well, even not like look at all the people that are using these things live.
Everyone's doing it.
It's crazy. Yeah. Like it's unreal. But that's what I would think is just a really good floorboard.
Yeah, and there's so much more offer as well. You've got budget stuff like the Helix, and you can go all the way up to like the Fractal or the Quad Cortex. It's a real variety of what you can pick up. They're all going to sound great if you start them in.
Yeah, 100%. Next question. Whoever wants to get it.
There was one that said Tom DeLonge Epiphone versus Tom DeLonge Starcaster, and I thought that was a crazy question. I feel like personally the Starcaster is better if you're comparing those two, because I think that Tom Epiphone is like the cheapest of the cheap. Like with the color brown not consistent, the shape, sometimes they're Korean made, sometimes they're Chinese. I think the neck is too fat, the headstock's terrible. And then there was somebody on Reddit that had one sanded down, and the wood quality is just horrendous on that thing.
Like chipboard.
I think if you want like a brown, brown Tom look with the stripe, Epiphone's all you can find at a good price. Sure, I mean, but if we're comparing guitar quality, Starcaster has locking tuners. It has a great pickup. It has a really nice neck. That the only thing I don't like about it is gloss, but you can sand it, and then it works great. What do you guys think?
100%. I think the Starcaster by leaps and bounds. Like, I don't know. Maybe as I'm getting older too, I do like the Dirty Finger, but it's playing it through. It's powerful, right? But it has its place. But now that I do prefer the SH5, even though I just said, contradicting myself, saying before, you can get whatever sound you want out of these things, but it's a lot easier to get a good sound out of an SH5 than it is the Dirty Finger. But yeah, the Starcaster, I think, by far for me.
Yeah. Same for me. I actually prefer the shape as well. It's more like comfortable when you're standing and playing for me. Is that with the Epiphone and the Gibson, I always like bang my elbow.
Yeah. If we're talking about the Gibson and Starcaster.
The Gibson is just miles above any of them. But if you're watching this and really want one, the regular 333 is just as good. It just doesn't have the racing stripe. Put a DF in it. I've done that. It sounds the same and feels the same.
Yeah.
Even the weight is the same. And
it's the same guitar. Like it literally is the same guitar.
The stripe and the holes are filled. Just do it. And then 335 is honestly a pinch better. Like it has a little bit better, frets and hardware, and I think that will blow your mind. And that's the thing. I watch way too much YouTube. Sorry, but there was a video where a guy was giving tips about like things he wishes he had done as a kid, and now he's an adult. And he's like trying to give advice, and his number one thing was buy what you want. Don't settle for an Epiphone if you want the Gibson. Don't settle for a Squier. Quantity is not better than quality. If you could have 2 amazing guitars or 12 cheapo guitars in different colors, there's too many guys out there that are buying the cheapo guitars instead of the 2 really good ones. And I think if you actually took that advice and did that, you would love it. Because then you'd be like, these are my 2. I love them. They are me. And the feel and quality that you get out of like an expensive, whether you like Fender, Gibson, Music Man, Paul Reed Smith, Schecter, whatever, get a good quality one that you are proud of, and I think it'll blow your mind.
Yeah, I agree.
You definitely do see a lot of people. I've seen like a lot of friends that have done that, and they end up regretting it, and then they don't look after the guitars because they got so many, and then you see them broken. Like, just get one.
It's all about that flex, man. That post of all of them on a couch, and it says "Meet the family, the collection," and it's like, come on, man. I would much rather have 2 nice guitars than all of that crap. Like a lot of times, sometimes they have a lot of nice ones, but more often than not, especially in our scene, you'll see these like $100 or $200 guitars, and they just want more instead of like a really nice one.
Yeah.
That's what I wish I could have done back then. I wish I could go back to when I was 19 and just have like something high quality.
Yeah, I wish I didn't sell all my gear as well.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah, I wish I didn't sell.
And just kept it. Can you imagine just having like a guitar that you bought and spent maybe a couple grand on and just kept it for 20, 30 years? That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah, I'm in the process of trying to get my first guitar back that I got for Christmas. That was a Squier. It was one of those Squier Bullet specials. It was a Tom guitar. It was like a Squier. It was like silverish gray with a black pickguard. And I don't know. I liked it, but I think that's long gone. I'm trying to find who has it now. But it was like $100. It was a cheap, but still.
Definitely.
Yeah. Favorite Blink music video. For me, I think it has to be First Date. I think like it just takes me back. I remember just watching it for the first time, and that was it. Same with Rock Show. Like that. Like people can say the end was like the What's Magic and stuff, but First Date just looked like it was a lot of fun to make.
Yeah, I feel like Blink's one of those bands that just have like so many good videos. Like, oh man. But I'd probably agree with, well, maybe like a joint. I think First Date and M&M's. I just love like the
M&M's, yeah.
comedic, like Tom and Mark in that video, like the faces they pull. It's just, and Elisa Milano as well. You know, when I was younger, seeing that video, I was like, oh my god.
For M&M's or Josie, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Josie. I got the song title.
Yeah.
Josie. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know if it's my favorite video, but that room that they're playing in Adam's song is just such an iconic shot. And
Oh yeah.
I just, I always like say, like, whenever I see another music video, I'm like, fans need to get a shot that's as cool as that, with all those pictures behind them and that like abandoned building or whatever. So cool. Yeah. I will say we're all pretty much fans of the Skiba era Blink. And I think that's cool. And I was really disappointed with the Dark Side video. And I know that people like to like make so many jokes about it. But let me say, in a serious moment, like, what were you thinking, guys? Like, you had a moment there with a song like Dark Side that actually could be kind of dark. And you could have had a much better video, a more serious video. And I think people would have taken that song better. But to just try to get into this like TikTok, you know, the floss dance with a bunch of kids, that wasn't even your market. Like, that wasn't even who's watching your videos or listening to your music. And I think it just was such a bad move. And I think if they had a cool video, imagine a video like Adam's song, but not ripping it off, just like it was something like that for Dark Side, I think it would have just been a lot more accepted.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. It's, I don't know, some of those Skiba songs too were really, really good. That I think deserve a little bit more. And you know, I know it's music videos aren't a big thing as much anymore, but yeah, it would have, I think, cemented it, because that's when you think of like Adam songs, a lot of people don't even think of the lyrics. They think of the music video. Same with like First Date or all the small things. It's the music video that captures it. So no.
Yeah, it was just such a strange choice. But what are
I
we
remember.
gonna do now?
I was gonna say, I remember in Mark's book he was saying with 9 they were trying to go like super commercialized. I think that's probably maybe why with that label or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it pushed them to do like, you know, do a really like trendy kind of video. So could have been that, but I agree that there was such a big scope to do something really kind of cool and a bit dark with that.
It's why these influencers are making so much money, and these corporations are so out of touch, man. It's kind of like where they see like a video game selling millions and millions like Fortnite, but it's a free game with in-game purchases. Like, it's different than a game that they made a story and that you have to buy. And they're just so out of touch with what we want.
Yeah. It's a shame.
The other generations, like Gen Z, they want kind of similar to what we want. They like the nostalgia a lot. They like millennial nostalgia for the most part.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's for me. That's why I want to Switch 2 so badly still.
Yeah.
It's just because, like, I know there's going to be those nostalgia
Mario,
games on there.
Yeah.
Any other questions on that?
It's just that same stuff, Stefan. Like, will Mark ever redo the jazz bass? Will they ever make a Scully?
There is one which I'm interested to hear your takes on.
Okay.
And I'll answer first, because actually no, I'm gonna wait and let you guys answer first. But it's, what's your least favorite Blink song?
Easy, and it's gonna piss you off.
Oh, should I go first then? Don't want to, if it's different. Mine is mine's the is it Little? I can't remember what it's called, but it's the What's My Age Again by Little Wayne. I've listened to that not even once through, and I had to turn it off, and I've never listened to it again.
I just want to apologize for all the downvotes you're going to get on this video, Stefan. My least favorite song, and still to this day, is One More Time. I just think it's so cringy. I think the lyrics are bait lyrics, where they're trying to get people with like, oh, cancer and plane wrecks, and like, but we still love each other, I love you. And I'm like, that's not what that band is, and they've never been that, especially in their music. And it just kills me every time. I cannot do that song. It's horrible for me.
Jeez.
It doesn't work, man. Like, for me, like, it's just so like, I just imagine Mark and he's like, I'm gonna write lyrics that are gonna make people choke up. Watch this. It's like, I can't. That's just me. I know a lot of people love it.
Yeah, I do.
I honestly, I can't even. I'm sure there's a few that if I went back to actually listen to it, that I would be like, "No, I'm good." I'm just trying to think of ones that I always skip over. I mean, like Falling Interlude and stuff like that, obviously. But yeah, I just for me when it's the interludes and stuff, like it's good, but I usually skip over.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs I skip on the One More Time, and I listen more to the One More Time Deluxe. And it doesn't mean I hate those songs. I don't want to call them out and say they're bad, but a couple of those songs I'll just skip, and I like the Deluxe
me too.
song
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, I'd have to come back to that honestly, because like, yeah.
I
don't know. I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm just trying to. I know there's quite a few that I don't like.
I know that.
We'll be unified.
They're not gonna like my answer on that, but this is what it is.
An honest answer is a good answer.
And I will say, I just want to throw this out here. I want Blink to open a show with "Damn It." Can we try it? I just want to see people go nuts for "Damn It" as the opener. Let's try it once. Let's get that going around.
What would you put as the closer?
I mean, it's gonna have to be One More Time because that's what everybody wants. But that's the new closer.
Yeah, Carousel would be a good closer. That would be a
good or all the small things or anything. But "Damn It" should be the opener. Just try it. Don't you think that'd be cool?
That would be.
It could be really cool.
Be interesting to see. Anything else on there that you guys wanted to?
Just quit rapid fire. There's not gonna be any Mark Jazz bass. He doesn't want to release it. There's not gonna be a Scully replica. He wants to stick to Jags because Jags are the future, everybody. So,
yeah.
But I hear the new Jags are nice. I hear they've got the slim jazz neck. They've got the Duncan quarter-pound pickups and cool colors. Maybe get some new ones one day.
Maybe. Just maybe. You have rapid fire questions, or was that the rapid fire?
I just saw the two, and I thought there was a third one in there about the Mark bases, and look, me and Stefan are the biggest pushers for the jazz bass reissue. I want to get a shell pink that's brand new, but I just don't think it's gonna come.
Yeah.
Every time we hear Mark doesn't want to do it, and he wants to move forward with what he's doing, so.
Well, respect it anyways. Respect it anyways, but I would love if
I don't hate the Jag. It's fine. I personally, I guess if I was being nitpicky, I don't love how it says Jag on it. I wish it said Jaguar, but
I like that. I don't know. For me,
you like that?
I do. I don't know. I like
a little different.
It's something different. That's the only thing is that it's something different.
And I like the painted headstock. I think that is cool.
I love the painted headstock.
They should have more Fender painted headstocks.
Yeah.
You don't think so? On a Starcaster,
I'm not a fan.
Cool. No?
I'm not a fan. No, I don't know why. It never really have been. But the one I got, the Sunburst, doesn't have it, so I'm good. Yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to think of an example. Did you like the Matt Skiba green one with the green head?
That kind of worked, yeah. That's probably one I wouldn't mind.
Or the Gibson prototype?
Oh, yeah. Do you like the Gibson prototype? No? Wow.
Interesting. All right. Well, I think that shall do it. Yeah, it's been a while since we did one of these, so it's getting back into the groove now that it's work and everything's died down a little bit. It's be a little bit easier for us to do some stuff. There's some videos that we wanted to do before.
There's a short video I wanted to do. I've mentioned it a few times about stop buying guitar picks on eBay. There's so many fakes. Please, everybody.
Yeah.
And I thought about doing a video on that, but I just couldn't decide if it would even be worth making,
Yeah. One other question that was on there is getting Alex Perez on the show, and he had he said that before that he would would join and kind of pick his brain with stuff. It'd be a lot of the same questions that I asked during our lunch that we have, but it's some pretty cool insight with stuff on how he got into it, how he started making it for Tom and then Mark, and then it's a pretty cool story. So we'll try to make that happen.
Something I learned the other day, little fun fact at the end, is a pick up hole spacing. So Fenders use F spacing on their pole positions of the pickup, so like how far apart those pole pieces are, and that also means the spacing of the strings. And then Gibson uses standard, and most guitars use standard. When Tom put that Dirty Fingers pickup in his jazz, it doesn't have the correct pole spacing.
Ooh.
I thought that was kind of
Oh,
interesting.
that
It's
is,
just a geeky gear thing. And it's like your pole pieces are going to be a little bit slightly too close. Now, there's people that debate whether this really makes a difference in tone or not, but
Surely it does, yeah.
something to think about, right? In a gear perspective, is pole spacing on Fender versus Gibson pickups.
I need to get someone to test it now, but
yeah.
some tone tests together.
So there you go.
Well, I think that'll do it then.
Sorry, I just
no, that was
like
good.
a geeky gear thing. Yeah.
No, it's good. But awesome. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, first of all, thank you for braving it through to the end. It's almost an hour, so appreciate it. If you want us to keep doing these or have any other questions, you can either shoot us a message on Instagram or probably better yet to put in the comments here. This way it won't get lost or anything like that, and we'll do more of these. So thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, guys, for jumping on. Appreciate it. Until the next video, guys. Bye for now.
Peace.